In this lesson, we are going to take a look at how we can resize objects using the Scale command. The Scale command is located on the Home tab in the Modify panel. You can also type SC, then press Enter at the keyboard. In this particular case, I have several different bolt heads. They're all drawn at the same size. They're currently set at a diameter of 1. So therefore, I'm going to scale a couple of these down and a couple of them up to get the correct sizes as shown. I'll begin with the Scale command. Then I will select the objects to be scaled. So I'll start with the first bolt head here. As with most other modify commands, I will then press Enter to tell AutoCAD I'm done selecting objects. Then AutoCAD asks me to specify a base point. In this case, I'll pick the center of the bolt head. As you can see, as I move my mouse, I get a dynamic preview of the object changing size. It's possible to just simply size it arbitrarily by clicking a point on screen, but typically I'm going to want to type in an actual value. When typing in a value, if I typed in 1, I would simply get one the same size. If I type in any value larger than 1, I'll get a larger shape. If I type in a value less than 1, I'll get a smaller shape. So in this case, I'm going from a diameter of 1 to a diameter of 0.25, so I'll type in 0.25 for a 25% scale factor. So let's look at another example. This next one should be 50% of the size. It's currently a diameter of 1. It needs to be a diameter of 0.5. I'll begin my Scale command, select my objects, then press Enter. Specify the center as the base point, then 0.5 and Enter. So I'll hop over this one since it's already the correct size and take a look at the 1.5. Once more I'll scale, select the objects and Enter. Specify my base point, and this time my scale factor will be 1.5. Then Enter. Finally, the last bolt head needs to be twice the size of the original. So I will scale, select the objects, then Enter. Specify my base point, then type 2 and Enter to get a bolt that's twice as large as the original. Sometimes when scaling objects, you might know the original size, and you might know the size that it needs to be, but you might not necessarily know the scale factor. In this example, on this particular nut, I want it to have a diameter of 0.75. It currently has a diameter of 2.12. Keep in mind, this could also be a rounded value. I don't know for certain if it's really 2.12 or if there's some extra decimals out there. If I knew for certain that it was definitely 2.12, then I could figure out the math by taking 0.75 divided by 2.12 to get my scale factor. Once more, if this is a rounded value though, that's not going to be exactly precise. And also, there's a faster way. We have a reference option in the Scale command. I will begin the Scale command, then select the objects I wish to scale. I'll press Enter to tell AutoCAD I'm done selecting objects, and then I'll select the base point as the center. Next, I'm going to choose the reference option in the command line. After doing so, it's going to ask me to specify a length, and I'm not actually going to put in a value. I'm going to pick 2 points to indicate that length, and those 2 points are simply going to be the diameter of this nut. So I'm going to pick the lower point here, then the upper point. So again, that's the distance across the circle. Now I can type in the correct value of 0.75, then Enter, and you can see that the bolt is scaled up or down to give me the correct diameter of 0.75. To recap, we can use the Scale command to scale something up or down. We just simply type in a value less than 1 to make it smaller, or a value greater than 1 to make it larger. And we can also use the reference option in cases where we know the original size and the size we want it to be, but we don't necessarily know the scale factor. That concludes this lesson on the Scale command in AutoCAD.